Welcome back, everyone. It's Sewing Notion Sunday, and I don't know about you, but I am so excited to be working on this. It's been a while since before Christmas, so we're going to get right to it. And today we're going to work with some sewing patterns. If you haven't seen my video, which I'm realizing I need to make a note of it, on the unique ways to use sewing pattern. It is in the playlist Sewing Notion Sunday. We did a whole lot of really fun, unique things with our sewing patterns, but I came across 3 patterns. These are 2 of the 3. The other one I had already cut out, and they were on my desk, and I thought, let's just do this for Sewing Notion Sunday. Start the year off easy. Maybe some of you that are new to the channel haven't seen some of these projects that we've done in the past that I think are really simple and really easy, especially if you're doing a sewing journal or any kind of journal, really. So that is what we are going to do today. But before we get started, if you are returning and have been a long time subby, you know, I appreciate every single one of you. I can't wait for this year and to collaborate with those of you who have channels and get to know those of you who continue to watch and comment and all of that good stuff. And if you're new, my name is Angela, and I love doing lots and lots of DIY projects, a variety of paper crafting, and I love thrifting for vintage treasures. And then I kind of do a little mix and match of everything. And we also do some live sales, so don't miss those. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about, you know, in the last one, we made several different journal covers. This one really would be a perfect one to do a journal cover because it's pretty much intact. However, the tag that was on it is still sticky on there. So it's not, I mean, I could put something over it here and use it, but I think we'll do something different with this. And then this one has some writing on it. So this is adorable. These little girls are cute, but we're going to mine everything from this, similar to what I did with the one that, the other one that was, it had writing all over it too. Let's see. Why? Oh, maybe all 3 of them. Oh yeah, all 3 of them were on here. So I had these 3 pieces. I saved this little tiny tag. I have this. Was there anything else? I guess. Well, no. Then I had some things that we made with those other pieces. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out all of the innards, if you will. And I have, ooh, that's pretty. It's got pink on it. So inside, if you're not familiar with sewing patterns, you've got the tissue that you would lay down on your fabric. You've got the step-by-step instructions and the envelope. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you how I trim this down. And I am going to try to save this. So I'm going to take this off at the measurements right there. And that's taken care of. So we'll put this aside. I know it looks like trash, but it's not. Now this is, well, this is bendy. What we're going to do, we're just going to cut it carefully. Normally, I do not take out this big of a chunk off of the top, off of the side, but because it's kind of, we can work with it. Now, that then gives us the bottom, so we're just going to trim off a little tiny piece of the bottom. All we're doing is just opening this up. And see how little that piece is? It's tiny. Okay, so now we've got that done. And now we have, let me move this aside. The front cover and the back cover. Now my thought is, this is still a little bit sticky. I think what I'll do is put these ladies aside and I will keep them and cut them out similar to what I just showed you. And just fussy cut around them. And I do, just so you guys know, For a lot of these, when I am fussy cutting, I'll fussy cut around most of the outside, but when it gets real intricate, then I use my X-Acto knife and cut out the center. And I usually do this after I have backed them, because this is sometimes fragile, and so we don't want that to rip. So if it's laying down on something, it usually is better. Now, what I'm going to do though, I want to use this green strip. Okay, so now we have this, and you know, you could use it just like this, but this is sticky, so that's not going to work, and I don't want to mess with taking it off. This is there, I don't want that there, and then I can use that little piece for something too. So we're setting that aside. Okay, now we have this, and it looks pretty rat-a-tat-tatty too, doesn't it? But we're going to make it nice. Hi, Ruby. And I'm gently taking this. Oops, it looks like it has another little... Oh, it's coming right out. Okay. Well, that'll work. I just pulled right off of... I didn't even rip it. All right, well, we'll work with that. Here's what we're going to do. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're going to make some bases, and I have some bases and samples to show you. This is what we're going to use. This is just file folder. And I kind of try to press this out just as much as I can. Hey, did you see? I finally changed out my ruler, so I have one that's actually workable. First of all, let's do this one first. And I just cleaned my mat, so we're going to get a piece of paper I'm not overly in love with to use to glue on. Oops, let's see, will this fit on here? Okay, I'm saving this because I will use it for something, what I don't actually know. What I find is easier, you guys all in frame there? There you go, that's better. Is gluing on this first for these fragile pieces is just easier. Now I could embellish this, put a little lace behind it, and I'm going over a little bit farther than the edge just because I need to like come in. Is that? No, it does not have any right there. And I just very carefully use my fingers. If there are cuts and tucks in it, it's okay. Doesn't mean we can't use it. Okay, and then I just take my art glitter glue and I just kind of see all the little places where it might need a little extra love. R-U-B-Y's in there rutting on her big beanbag thingy chair, which is not hers, but she claims it for hers. Let's turn this. And I'm just being very gentle, or gentle-ish. And then, yep, I think that's good enough. I see one little spot here. So I hope you guys are all having a great day. I got one of my Christmas presents all set up and running. And it is a iRobot, a Roomba. And Dave's like, I cannot believe I bought you this for Christmas. He's like, I do not ever want to hear a thing about it. I'm like, honey, I've wanted one for so long. And I just think it just does an amazing job at just maintenance. You know, you still have to vacuum, but not nearly as much. And Dave's like, I think he could probably do that, like, you know, 3 times a week. I'm like, 3 times? I'm doing it every day. But she needs a name, I think. So imagine this on, let's just say, the top of a page, or turning this into the top of another envelope. Lots and lots of uses. I mean, I don't know what we're going to use it for today. Probably nothing, because I've got lots of things to show you. I just wanted to tell you, save this stuff. It's workable. You can do something fun with it. I see that. Okay, one thing done. So imagine we have that as a pocket. We put a little edge on it so that it flips up and down. You know, make it into a real pocket, and we're good to go. We're golden. We've already used one piece of it. This we're going to cut out. We're going to use these little girls for something. So there's 2 pieces that we've got. Now, what else do we have? We've got this piece that, this is a great, I might have to get more. Let's do this on something different. Will it fit on like that? It actually will. And I don't mind this because it kind of looks like stitch fabric. So, you know what? Embrace the moment. We're just going to put it right on this. Well, no, we're not, because it's not cardstock. Let me grab one. I'm just going to grab one of these. It's neutral. That, you know, if we want to just use it as a journal card just as it is, we can. Oh, poo. Well, that'll still work. See that hole there? We'll make it work. That we can just use it as a plain old journal card and nothing more. But what we're going to do with it is a little bit different. And I'll show you in a second. Oh, I didn't do anything with this yet. And what I do with these is I've been trying to be so careful not getting glue all over my mat again, because I spent, I don't know how long, a long time cleaning off the mat. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this and put it, see how that's kind of pulled up right there? Give it a little bit. This is gonna, I'm still gonna probably have to use my art glitter glue to come back around, give it some love. I'm going underneath this little piece here. I think all this is gonna get cut off anyway, but for the meantime, we're just gonna give it, I'll just give it a couple more. And now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't need to worry about it. If you have a sewing machine, you can sew around it. I almost always sew around my sewing pattern projects just because it's a sewing pattern. But remember, a sewing pattern does not have to be used as or in a sewing journal. Now, here's the thing. If I put this in my trimmer, there is a good chance that it will tear this. I have a new blade in it, so it might not, but I'm not going to take that chance. I am just going to go to cut around this black line. Now, in the real world, in real time, would I wait a little longer for this to dry? Yes. The glue, I mean. But today, no. And we'll just... Oh, it never fails. She hasn't barked all day. Not all day. The neighbor girls know she's here, and they've already come and taken her for a walk yesterday, so it could be them. Oh, here. I wonder if this will work on. Yes, it will. All right, so now we have a base. I left just a little bit of space on that. And that's going to be our base for whatever we choose to create. Ay, girl. Okay, so what we're going to do is put this way. It fits perfect, and then I can just get rid of that. So for this, I really hope it's not those girls, because they'll keep ringing the bell. They'll keep ringing the doorbell and knocking and come into the back door until they get their hands on Ruby, I'm telling you. Which is great, because she loves the attention. She loves to go for walks with them, and it's cold outside. And if those little kids can withstand it, then more power to them. But yesterday, I couldn't find Zenny's collar because one of the kids took it off. She has a new collar, and I couldn't find it, and they wanted to take her for a walk. Well, she has I have a sack, these 2 sacks for her. And just think like it's like a, what do you call those bags? Messenger bag, you know, like you put it over one shoulder, but it's made of the softest material ever. And it's just like a hammock for her. She fits right in. All right, so I think I'm just going to cut right down that line. And now we have another piece that we could use for a belly band. We can use this for page topper, a side tuck, all kinds of things. So really we're just talking about mining things from your patterns. And so now we have those 2 items. Oh, girlfriend, you gotta stop. Okay. So now so far we have 3 of these, and let's just say we have a bunch of little children cut out, okay? And here is the other one that we did. So we got all kinds of things. We're going to put those right up there. I feel like I need to do something with her. Then we're going to take some of our, let's see. Let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to take some of our tissue and we're going to make it into backing. Now, this was this piece that all I did is literally had a huge piece of this and I flipped it around and sewed it on there. This isn't even glued on here, which usually I do. But I think for this example, we'll put a piece of paper down, and I have a pretty pink color, and then we'll put a piece of this tissue over the top of it, and then that way it's kind of a journaling card. The other thing I wanted to show you that I don't know that we'll have time to do, but this is another way that you can do this. This was a master board, and you guys probably, you've seen me do this. This was me taking scraps and literally sewing all of those scraps together, just kind of crazy quiltish, willy-nilly. So this was one of those pages. The thread that I used, you can still see it underneath there. It's kind of cool. So if you have a sewing machine and you want to sew all of your scraps together, it's really fun and it doesn't take long. I don't do it a ton, but when I have all my little scraps left over and I don't feel like doing any more clusters or whatnot, then I put them all together. And then I did the very same thing. This one I Mod Podged. So I Mod Podged the front and then I flipped it over, Mod Podged the back and put it all around, waited for it to dry and sewed it up. It works great, but it was out of one of these. That one we probably won't have time to do today, but it's okay. I wanted to show you anyway. So let's make one of these, but instead we're going to put it on, we're going to back it. So I have this cookbook that was falling apart that is pink, and I think it's super cute. So we're just going to slap this baby down on here, and I think sherbet salad and harvest fruit salad sound better. So I think what we'll do is kind of try to center it a little bit. So I am going to try to glue on here so that we have a little bit of a edge around it. And this would be great for a home and garden journal, a farm journal, lots of things. The point of this video today is A, to make me happy because I wanted to do Sewing Notion Sunday, and B, to just kind of explore more of the ways that we can just mine all the goodness from, that didn't get on very straight, but that's okay. I'm going to go cut this and we'll come back. And I won't be sewing on camera. I never sew on camera. My sewing machine, although I have to tell you, my sewing machine is over in the closet that used to be at one time where I would stage my, not stage, but do my Etsy orders, and it got to be too small a space. Well, when I sew on it, it's kind of bouncy, like, you know, that the shelf that, or the countertop is not real huge. But look at this, you guys. I mean, depending, this was a child size, right? There's still tons and tons and tons of tissue that you can do so many things with. And I'm going to show you a couple other ones too. Uh-oh, I didn't see if this would fit. I think it will. For this one, I'm not going to worry about what's on what side. What am I doing? I don't want to do that this time. We're doing it differently. Last time, I just flipped this over and wrapped it all the way around the paper. I'm not doing that today, Angela. Okay, so I guess we do care where this is. Now, you can use... All right, we're just going to go right over the top of this, and then we'll put it down. And then I'll cut around it, and then later I will take it to my sewing machine. And I'll show you something else we can do to it. And you don't even need to have a sewing machine. Okay. And I like to see how I'm kind of making it have wrinkles. I kind of like that. It just gives a little bit of fun to it. All right, there we go. We did it. Now you can still see through it. We can add a, and this doesn't usually get right up to the edge, but I'm going to show you how you can fix that. You see how it's not cutting right up to that side? Well, if it bugs you, you can fix it. All right. And I love the textures. And now remember, we're just doing bases right now. We're not doing anything else. We're not embellishing. We're not going crazy with it. We're just creating our base. It's all about the base. Thank you, Megan Trainer. See what I'm doing? I'm just kind of using my sandpaper, and it knocks it right off of the sides of there. Close your ears if you don't like that sound. This one looks like it needs to be glued down a little bit more. Okay, take it to the sewing machine, sew it up. But let's just say, all right, first of all, I'm going to show you, this is one thing you can do. I created a ruffle, then I put the ruffle on paper. I use my pinking shears. Now I've got an instant belly band, but I've used these for sides of pages and that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you how to make one of these without a sewing machine, because I think it's important. And I think we're going to do it on this. Well, let's see. Should we do it on the... How wide is this? Because if I want to use it in a page, let's do it on the top. Okay, wait. I think it'll be okay. All right, so let's try to take one of these that we've already been playing with. That's kind of all the same, isn't it? Almost. All right. You guys are going to be making these all day long. And I will tell you, I get my sewing patterns from estate sales, thrift shops, auctions, pretty much anywhere. That's still a little bit too wide. But I think I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to make this. And I think we'll just try it with this. So here's how I make my ruffles. Okay, I'm just going to bend this forward. Can you guys see that? Okay. Put a little bit of glue on it. All I'm doing is just tacking it down. Okay, and I like mine to look a little. And then I'm just going to go like this. Tack, whoa. Tack it. Now, you can go, if you're sewing, you're going to do it just the opposite. Here, let's just do a couple of these. I'll show you again. But this is all I'm doing. And I don't worry that it's straight. I don't worry that it does not matter to me. I actually kind of like more so seeing what that looks like. Doesn't have to be top of one another. Okay. Then what's easier is real. Oh no, I didn't put the lid on my art glitter glue. Just to take this, to fold it first, give it a dot of glue. And really, you only need a dot. Oops, I just got some on there. And did you see how half of mine were going one way and now half of them are going the other way? I like it that way. Okay. In less than 30 seconds, I've just created a ruffle. I am going to cut part of this off. And I'm going to stick that entire thing right up here. And gosh, I don't have a sewing machine, so I don't have a sewing seam in there. Well, that's fine. We can put something else on it. So let me get out my little trusty bag of, what do I got? That's probably too much. Let me get my scraps out right here. Nope. That green one's kind of cute. Looks cute with the pink. So we're just going to angle that. You could use anything on this. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video and so I can show you as many things as possible in our time together. These are just unique little things that you can do to make your projects a little more fun. All right, there we go. Done. We have a journal card with tag topper. We let that sit and we made a ruffle. So if we wanted, we can now embellish that. Maybe we want to add some of our wrong pin. Hold on 1 second, please. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ideas right there. What we are going to do next, I don't think, I want to show you a couple of things, so I think I won't make these, but except for possibly one. This is all using the directions. I've simply backed this. This was cool. I didn't even realize this paper actually is kind of elements of a sewing pattern when I made this. But just added a little fabric. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tags out of like a minimal amount of, we need to keep these little girls out here. We got to use them. Okay. Before we put away our tissue, let's make one more thing. And then we're going to move on to the pattern, or I have these really ugly. Well, in my opinion, they're ugly. They're kind of holographic a little bit. And I'm not a big fan. So we are going to cover them without doing anything else except put the tissue right on it. No joke, artichoke. I'm serious. All right. For this one, all I did is went like that. Let's get a piece of this tissue that has a little bit of character to it. Here, this is good. Oh, I like that. It says bind this edge. Perfect. Put that on there, smush it up. The silver is gone, but it's still there. Now you can go, let's see what it looks like if we go this way. I don't think we're going to get a lot of not as much. What does it look like? We're going that way. It's easier too. Glue. And again, this is just basic glue stick. I glue it down. This is one of my favorite projects because I have a lot of these ugly, you know, which is fine because they're useful. I use them for what they're intended, but okay, see how that doesn't really want to cut right up against it? No problemo. We'll just get our handy sanding block out. Remember the other day when I told you I was going to do 5 videos in a day? Yeah, well, that didn't happen because I ended up having to do 2 for the altered book video. And then, oh, and then I ended up doing my Mindful Monday because I was just in the mood to do it. And, you know, sometimes that's when nobody says you have to journal on a, I mean, if you're in the mood to journal, journal. If you're in the mood to do a project like that, you do a project when it's right for you. And so I got that one done, but I still had this one. And I still have my Template Tuesday to get done, which I want to do before. I don't know. Dave gave me fair warning that football started at 3. Well, it's about that time. And they watch football down here. I'm making a mess with my fingers. Oh, I just made it. I'm getting too aggressive. Be aggressive, but don't be aggressive. All right. We're just going to leave well enough alone. All right. Now, for this one, we are going to finish it. Okay. Where is the... Let's see. I got to hold this up to the... Well, that's not... Oh, there it is. We're going to pop a little hole in here. Okay, so that is out. Now, we're going to take some of this. We might just use the green. Let's just use the green and then we'll contrast it. Because I just am grabbing 3 times out. I'm going to put a dab of glue right here. And the little things that they go in, I haven't tried this yet, but the little things that they go in are right here. I wonder if I could just, let me see. Because it'd be cool to be able to, we're going to try it. Put them in there. All right, so I'm just starting by putting the very end here. Now, I might do 2 colors on here. Because I did not, well, I could always add more. Just wrap it. Oh, willy-nilly. Let's see, can I do it? And then we will, well, that has a little, you know what, I might just leave that. It's got a little knot in it. Maybe I can do it up through here. There we go. Come on. There we go. And then let's just take some dabs of glue. Kind of make this fun. Perfect. Then you would let that dry, but we got goodies. So let's see if I can do this. So part of it is under. There we go. Yes. I love it. And then we'll take another little one in the blue. Pop that on the top. And then we have a blue bulb pin. And now we've got a little dangle. But how cute would these look? I mean, you wouldn't have to, like, this would be a good one. Or this one maybe. This one's bigger. But you could use it on that. You know, have something else on the back. But these, so now we have one more item that we can make. So I made that one and then that little one. So now I have those. You could make these things all day long. And if you don't have these already pre-made, these cardboard things, you can make your own, draw it out, cut out a bunch, and you don't even need, I mean, you could just use cardstock. And you'll be great to go. All right, so we got that. We've done it both ways. There was one thing I wanted to make with, how many minutes are we at? 37. Okay, let's wait on that. There was one thing I wanted to make with the pattern, with the directions, but I want to show you, if you watched the video, the unique ways to use sewing patterns, the last one of the things that we did was made this, and this was from a vintage pattern. This is vintage pattern. This is from these are all from my Cherish magazine, and this was lace and a little piece of ribbon, and we made this cute little, either an envelope or a journal card, but look how cute that would be on there. Okay. Well, we're going to do the same thing. But, oh, there it is. I've got actually two things I want to show you. Well, we'll see what happens. This one I'm not going, this little girl, I think she looks very 4th of July-ish. And as you can see, I've already backed her. I've cut her out and I left her kind of like a paper doll. If you wanted, you could make these into paper dolls for your kids, your grandkids, and let them just, you know, color on them, add lace and ribbons and glitter or whatever. They could use them to play with and use them in, make their own paper dolls, you know, dresses and things. So there's lots of uses. This is going to be for an assemblage, but I did have this just lying around. And imagine, like, you could make this for a page, have her be a little bit, you know, popped out of the page. She's a little bit big for this house, but you get the drift. And lots of cool, fun things you can do. I think I'm going to use her for a 4th of July piece. But what I found when I was looking was in that magazine, much like the puppy and the couch that I have here, was a foosball table. And I thought these girls looked like they probably played foosball. So just for simplicity, no pun intended, for simplicity's sake, we're going to put this foosball down, table down, And see how she kind of just naturally looks like, hey, hey girls, how are you doing? But she now looks like she's kind of hanging out there in Never Never Land. So I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to cut her out. And I'm going to cut right here. And then we're going to see what happens then. And then we're going to put them in there to look a little more, maybe normal, I hope. Even though her foot's still on there. We can cut that off later. But let's start with this. We're detaching her from her best friend. Just for a moment. You'll be reunited. It's okay. Pop, just like that. Now she's legless, but that's okay. All right, so let's see what this looks like when we put her. And then wouldn't that be fun to put just a cute quote at the top? Use this as a, you could use this as an actual page. Okay, so we know we're just going to have to cut her foot off because that is not going to do it. It's going to look too silly. Okay, let's just not lose her little foot. She's right between the 9 and the 10. Okay, so if we... Can you see okay? Yeah. We glue her down about there. She's still leaning on it. Now we put girlfriend there. We might not even need her foot, but we're going to see. Perfect. Now if I can just glue it down like that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's glue this down first. Do not lose her foot. These are one of my fun, like for my one of my 2022 favorite projects were my sewing, all of my Sewing Notion Sundays, but especially the ones where we did kind of a vignette or an assemblage of the people, a little diorama, sort of ish. Okay, so that's on there. Now we need her. Okay, I think we need to put, oh no. Yeah, we need her there. There we go. I'm going to just use this art glitter glue to get her down. We'll come back. You know, sometimes it's just safer to do it this way. Okay, she's all good. Let's get her little leg down. I was thinking about something. Now, maybe now we really don't need her leg because now it looks like I think we don't. Okay. I was thinking about something I was going to ask you guys that I was on my mind. What was it? I don't know, but I thought, you know, that's a great question to ask all of you. Too bad I can't remember what it is. Okay, I want to get her just exactly where I want her. Well, she's got to come over here, so that girl's little arm. There we go. Hey. Hey, boys, want to play a game of foosball? We have a foosball table at the acreage. I think I played it once. I like to play foosball. We just never, the kids play all the time. So now you've got the start of either a fun page topper or as a page or as a journal card, as a pocket. Possibilities are endless. One more we got. All right, I've got one more I have to show you before we go. We're going to make those because these are also easy peasy. And we probably won't get to the pattern pieces, but I think you know. Pick what you want, cut it out, slap it on there. But I want to show you this because these are really easy. And I want to show you my little trick in cutting these out. So, first of all, you just need some circles. And really, you don't even need circles, but we're going to use circles. Now, what I do, and these I have, I sprayed after I was all done. So this is with coffee. This is with, I don't know which one. What? Something honey. Distress ink. Or just distress spray. All right, there's 4. Is that all I had? Well, I need some more probably. So what I did is I folded this piece of tissue just over itself over and over. But it will not go through my punch because it just won't. And it'll get it stuck, which has happened many a times. So put another piece of paper over both sides of this, and then you can punch your circles. Now you have a whole bunch of circles. And if you wanted, you could use this as a base, or you can just use those for something else in the future, okay? Now we're going to put this together. Lickety split. And I just kind of keep adding. I want to make these, I think, a little bit smaller because I thought there was something that I had done. Yeah, let's make this one just a tiny bit smaller. Now, here's what I'm talking about. You can use this for the base. You could put this on the back of it if it wasn't so big. Okay, but what was I going to use that on? Oh, I know what I was going to use it on. I think I was going to try to put it on like here. And that's not on there, so maybe I can. Do you think I can take this other one off? Yes, this is what I wanted it on. Now, I know that doesn't look much like a flower at the moment, but it will. And I put barely any glue on it because I want to be able to just manipulate it and move it around. But let's put on, this is kind of bluish green. Let's put on this, make it kind of into a leafish looking piece. We're going to use the Fabri-Tac now. We're going to put that down. Let's see what this looks like on top of it. That's good. Well, we don't even need to do anything there. There's enough glue. Put that down. And kind of make it a little bit. And truthfully, you would not even have to make these into circles. I've done it before where I just start putting stuff on top of it. Now, we've had that white, but now I don't think I want to use this. What if we use, that's too big. We'll use the white and the blue one on top of it. We've got a flower. And now, let's just say I did want to have a little color to this. What I could do is, once this is dry, then I could just take my, take a little bit of ink and then dribble it on. I don't have to use the whole spray. I could just take, well, here, let's just try it. You're in my way, Miss Ruby. Let's see, do I have I'm going to use green. There's pine leaves. I don't know. This might be really not. You can come lay down, honey. She's like, no, I can't. You've got that drawer open. It's in my way. But so you could just. I didn't want that much on there. See that? Okay, let me clean this off. Move this out of the way. But now we have this with a little bit of zhuzh on it. Okay, so let's just recap some of the things that we are able to make with all these goodies, and then we will call it a video. So we've got our flowers, easy enough to make. And if you know what, if you don't have a circle punch, you can just rip pieces apart. It will do the very same thing. And you can make all kinds of little loveliness. So we've got those. We made, here, let me just do this. We made some pieces that we can use for toppers, for envelopes, for all kinds of other goodness. We have our journal card. We have another piece that we can use as a journal card. We have the rest of our spools. We have a whole bunch of tags and journal cards. We have another, this could be a belly band or a bookmark. We have another base here, and we have another journal card. So all of that in that little amount of time. And just imagine if you're not talking how much you can get done. I'm telling you, it's a lot. So thank you all for joining me, and I hope that you come back next time for next week's Sewing Notion Sunday. I can't wait. And until then, remember to take time to just be. Cheers, everybody.